The system voice congratulated Sangun, announcing his designation as Yusan-han, and detailing his newly acquired statistics and notoriety. The system proclaimed that he had survived, killed, and escaped, designating him as a player in a divine mission, a quest to select a successor to the gods. A smile crept across Sangun's face as he wiped his chin. Moments later, Jerry appeared, bowing and greeting him. "Welcome, Sang-hun. We find ourselves in the starting room," he explained. Introducing himself as Jerry, his assistant, he elaborated that this world was a colossal trial orchestrated by the deities. The longer he remained on this mission, the greater his chance of ascending to divinity. Sangun, narrowing his gaze, contemplated the implications of this godly election. "This does not resemble any world I know," he mused, scrutinizing Jerry. "Isn't this akin to a fantasy?" Jerry smiled, affirming his insight. "Indeed, yet it bears a critical distinction: death is all too real." He continued, "The sole escape is through demise or by achieving godhood." Sang-hun scowled, realizing the gravity of his predicament. He would remain trapped unless he attained divine status. Jerry, sensing his distress, reassured him, stating that resurrection was a possibility. He revealed that Sang-hun possessed 2 lives. The protagonist contemplated the ramifications of this revelation, reflecting on the lives he had taken during the harrowing tutorial. Raising a hand, Sang-hun inquired, "Could you please patch me up?" Jerry snapped his fingers, acquiescing without hesitation. As he observed the protagonist, he noted the title of traitor hovering above him, pondering the implications of such a designation during training. Jerry conjured a system window, proclaiming that Sang-hun would have time to prepare for the impending trial, encouraging him to check his inventory for rewards. 3 hours later, Sang-hun stood before the system interface, scrutinizing the details, while Jerry observed, pondering how long the selection process would endure. In a realm where determination and strategy intertwine, Sang-hun appeared resolute as he navigated the digital interface before him. The system window illuminated with news of his recent acquisition, a low-tier sword, alongside the foundational skills of fencing and an entry-level inventory. Jerry, an observer with a knowing grin, pondered whether Sang-hun had finally made a prudent decision. The thought danced in Jerry's mind that his companion had willingly invested in premium gear without a moment's hesitation. With a sigh, Jerry inquired about provisions and camping supplies, positioning his hands behind his back, reflecting on Sang-hun's astuteness and recognizing the essentials for sustained survival. Rather than pursuing high-tier skills, Sang-hun had opted for a remarkable spellbook, an unconventional yet sagacious choice for enduring the trials ahead. Adjusting his belt with a decisive air, Sang-hun declared, "That's sufficient for now." Jerry, a glimmer of curiosity in his eyes, asked if he had completed his shopping. He gestured toward the nearby arena, indicating the commencement of a pivotal test. Sang-hun, eyebrows raised in confusion, questioned, "For real?" Jerry's finger pointed towards a canine menace, and he requested, "Please, let him take down that dog." The main character scrutinized the creature and hesitated, "What?" Jerry assured him that if the dog was vanquished, the task would be deemed fulfilled, and a respite would follow. After all, it was expected that the dog would offer no resistance. With a mischievous grin, Jerry recalled how Sang-hun had previously faced greater adversities. Sang-hun grimaced, memories of his past deeds flooding back, 3 lives extinguished. His hand trembled as it grasped the sword's hilt. Yet, he grappled with the notion that this act would alter nothing. In a swift motion, he struck down the dog. Jerry praised his efficiency, relieved that Sang-hun had not hesitated. But as the reality of his actions settled in, Sang-hun clutched his mouth and succumbed to nausea, collapsing to the ground in a fit of retching. What a paradoxical individual, Jerry mused, a smile creeping onto his face as he anticipated that the moment of surrender had arrived. As the main character writhed on the ground, he suddenly grasped Jerry's hand, bewildered. "More," he gasped, laying prostrate. Jerry, puzzled, encouraged him to continue. Sang-hun's gaze drifted elsewhere, affirming his intent. "Of course, if that's your desire," Jerry replied, a hint of intrigue in his tone. It was an opportune moment to hone his abilities before the mission unfolded. Sang-hun envisioned dispatching another 100 dogs, perhaps even larger beasts like horses and cows. Goblins, lizardfolk, and orcs would soon meet their fate. When he and his sword melded into a singular force, The true mission would commence amidst the sprawling cityscape. A voice echoed, urging the populace to cherish their lives. Confusion reigned as citizens emerged in the city square, surveying their surroundings with trepidation. One player lamented their circumstance, pleading for survival. Sang-han contemplated the situation. Lingering here was not advisable. Urgency beckoned. He speculated whether the mission had indeed begun, hoping an aide like Jerry would be present. In a fortuitous turn, Sarah appeared behind a counter, welcoming him and expressing gratitude for his arrival at the city's first station. Sang-han examined her with keen interest as she presented 2 parchment slips. She explained that if he preferred to avoid the dangers outside, he could accept tasks at the station. For novices, tasks included eradicating vermin infestations. Sang-han scrutinized her intently, musing that this indeed felt like a game where stakes were high, life or death. The rewards on the paper did not seem particularly enticing, though a first bonus caught his eye. The quest entailed eliminating a rat infestation, with the stipulation of dispatching 5, 20, or even 100 rats. The standard reward was a modest 500 gold and a point of fame, with bonuses contingent on performance. Reading further, Sang-han recognized the absence of levels and hints for improving abilities. He resolved to swiftly gather allies to bolster his stats. "Yes, let's proceed," he asserted, directing his finger forward. Sarah spread her arms, confirming his selection of the rat-clearing task, and he was soon transported to the designated mission locale. Upon arrival, he brandished his sword against the ground, only to be met with dismay. The creatures were minuscule and agile, making capture nearly impossible. He lamented that for every rat he might seize, 5 would slip away. With no clear method to cancel the task, he realized he was trapped until completion. Opening the system interface, he retrieved a loaf of bread, grateful for his foresight in securing provisions. What a stroke of luck, he thought, contemplating his low-grade poison. He proceeded to taint the bread and scatter it about, ensuring the rats would be ensnared by his cunning. "Congratulations!" Sarah exclaimed, hands clasped in delight. "Have you dealt with the rats yet?" Her enthusiasm echoed as others gathered, one player pointing at Sang-han, marveling at his swift accomplishment. The second questioned how he had achieved such speed. Sang-han frowned, irritation bubbling beneath the surface. Drawing attention through mere volume was vexatious. He exhaled, reminding himself to maintain a positive outlook. Anger would yield no benefit. He chuckled softly, glancing at the system notification that confirmed his traitor effect, a covert edge hidden in his mirth. A fellow player, Yoongi, approached, inquiring about Sang-han's recent success against the rat infestation. Though initially disinclined to engage, Sang-han paused, considering the opportunity for camaraderie. "What's your rank?" he queried. Yoongi scratched his head and replied, titled Brave Survivor. Sang-han deemed him trustworthy, pondering the potential for alliances as they ventured forth. With hands in pockets, he advised against accepting any rat-related tasks without adequate preparation. Hannah appeared perplexed, questioning his recent undertaking. Just then, another voice suggested trading information, a man accusing Sang-han of cherry-picking the simplest quests. The bald player folded his arms, incredulous at Sang-han's achievements. With a smirk, Sang-han brushed off the jibes, recognizing the folly of their judgments. He made his way to the counter, requesting the wolf-hunting task from Sarah, who obligingly confirmed his selection, preparing to transport him swiftly. As Hannah conferred with Yoongi about their next steps, he suggested she take on the pest control task. "Surely, rats would be simpler," she queried. Yoongi turned to Sang-han, asking if he wished to join forces. Rejecting the notion of teamwork, Sang-han proceeded into the portal, emerging in a stone structure. He set traps, lacing his weapon with poison. Suddenly, a wolf materialized before him, growling menacingly. Sang-han's resolve intensified as he eyed the creature. He mused that dealing with this foe was his immediate priority.